The man, the myth, the legend, and the worst jokes in the neighbourhood. Of course, it's Brandon in Orangeburg Road.
My jokes rule, bro.
Yes, of course they do, mate. As long as you enjoy them, that's the main thing.
That's the only thing I care about, mate.
Oh, look, if you get a friend
she said
involved.
once when she saw the size of my wee-wee, she goes, who are you going to satisfy with that? And I said, me.
What a fantastic start to the show. Hey, it is, of course, the Crypto Hour of Power, and it is not Crypto After Dark, but we'll get into the show.
The weirdest ways to ever start a show.
Oh, dear. We have someone on the line, mate, and I'm very
Let's throw into it.
Very keen to get him on before you say it. Put your foot further into it.
It's so fun.
We've got Kane on the line, mate. Do you want to, basically say hello?
Yeah, cool. Hey, Kane, you there, mate?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yep, no, my absolute pleasure, mate. I'll just give you a little intro because I've just I've got it in front of me.
Yep.
It is a crypto show, and we're talking to someone from a crypto brokering service. We're going to go into the difference between what an exchange is and a brokering service, and talk about crypto and all things finance. Kane, I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name. I'm going to Bisogni. Right, not even close. He's the head
That's
of...
Close enough.
I appreciate that you let him get away with that one.
Bisogni. Okay, cool.
Yes, correct.
There you go. Smashed it on the second point. All right, his position is Head of Research and Analyst at Uptrade, a crypto brokering service founded in 2023. His credentials holds formal qualifications in finance and economics, 5 years hands-on experience in crypto investing. So, he's the man, right?
If he knows how to invest, this is always a good start.
I get the big guests, mate.
I
I get the big guns. All right. Okay, so we'll start off with you said you had a background. Well, you didn't say. ChatGPT did.
Yeah.
That you had a background in finance. Okay, well, just start off with, what you're doing pre-crypto, and then sort of go into how you got into crypto, how it sort of, did you get it on YouTube or, a friend told you or something like that. So just start with your background and then how you got into crypto, and then we'll go into what you're currently doing.
Yeah, definitely. So I first basically got into the market around 2017. That was when Bitcoin started to really make its headwind in the market or in the news and stuff like that. So that's when I first kind of found my exposure to the market. Thought it was really interesting how this is like a magical asset that was like, gaining a lot of popularity, and there was not really a lot of, knowledge about what it actually was. So that's what really sparked my interest at first. It obviously made an amazing run in 2017, and a lot of people made a lot of money. So obviously as a young fella, you kind of like see that and you're like, okay, there's opportunity there. So I went into university, so I studied at Melbourne University, Bachelor of Commerce, majoring in Finance and Economics in 2021. Yep. And I guess they kind of create a pretty traditional pathway for a lot of people at university, so it's really hard to actually go into a niche industry like crypto. So I feel like the opportunities were pretty limited because you're obviously going to be kind of going into like a big four or like a bank. That's kind of where most of people actually end up going.
Cool.
But I did see that there was an opportunity that, a lot of people were able to, at least for me, I saw that there wasn't many people going into the crypto industry, and I had knowledge behind me to actually back myself. So I thought, I'm going to take that, leap of faith. I ended up, going to, Apollo Crypto. I'm not too sure if you know about it. It's a fund in Australia. I was able to get some work experience there before I actually moved to Uptrade, where I did venture capital deals in 2022. So that's where I kind of started my investment journey or my industry journey or industry experience in general. But my actual investment journey actually was, in 2017. My cousin actually gave me a little bit of Bitcoin, and that's why I kind of like found it interesting.
Nice cousin.
Yeah.
Keep him on board.
A lot of people came in as like, a friend of him or, a relative or something, and give them a bit of Bitcoin, sort of give them a bit of a taste. A lot of people are regretting that now, because
exactly.
Have 5 Bitcoin, Hey, no worries. It's
like the famous story of the guy who bought the pizza with Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Tell you what, that's some bloody
bad.
expensive pepperoni.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine that used to mine Bitcoin with servers and that sort of stuff, and he was on back in the dark net, and he was buying all sorts of stuff with Bitcoin, and like he looks back on it and he goes, "Oh, I spent like 30 Bitcoin on this and 20 on that, and all these toys and that." Anyways, all right, so I digress. Okay, so it's good to see that your university days you weren't brainwashed and and got all woke. You actually swallowed the orange pill. I was about to say the yellow pill.
Exactly.
Swallowed the orange pill. No, it's good that you survived that venture, mate. Did they teach you a lot about finance and stuff in university, or are you sort of more learning about the realities of it in your job?
No, so I guess it was very like math based. A lot of it was just like about finance, about like valuations of companies or stocks and stuff like that. That's what I kind of majored in. And then obviously the macro factors, how that affects markets and things like that. But yeah, they didn't really teach anything about crypto. Obviously that has a completely different analytical approach when you're actually looking for valuations on different assets and things like that. So it didn't really, correlate too much. I had to learn myself through my like industry experience with some of the leading asset managers and things like that. But but this is a complete segue off all that sort of stuff we were talking about. Did they sort of cover like Keynesian economics and Milton Friedman, Thomas Sowell, Hans Hermann Hoppe? Sort of a just sort of more the theory behind certain economics, or was it basically just the mathematical structure? To be honest, I would say most of it's like the mathematical structure.
Right.
A lot of my exams were just complete maths. You couldn't get through it without a calculator and 1,000 formulas. So for me, I only remember the maths, to be honest.
Right. Okay. Because there's a lot of conflicting theologies, with different economics and that sort of thing. And I basically think our economics is based on Keynesians, which is proving to be wrong every step of the way.
Every time I hear anything Thomas Sowell, he's amazing. He's the man as far as
absolutely. He studied under Milton Friedman, I think. Milton Friedman's an absolute legend back in the day. All right. Now. What is venture capital?
So venture capital is basically a fund where you invest in like the new up and coming projects, or like you seed invest startup companies. So that's what I did at Upside DAO. We basically gave an investment to these new companies that are like looking to build a certain product, and in return would get like equity in their company.
Sure.
Okay, so it's like ICOs.
Yeah, exactly. Like very early on, before ICOs, like the very, very start, before they even have a product. That's what we were doing, just investing in the new wave of technology. Yeah,
because the whole ICO boom, and that's for the people out there, and Aaron as well. ICO means initial coin offering.
Okay.
So it's like on the blockchain, is like instead of venture capitalists piling in, it's mums and dads and normal people pile in.
Yeah, you're investing in up and coming coins.
Yeah, up and coming stuff. Do you look at ICOs anymore? Is that even a thing?
Yeah, there's still some good ICOs that are coming out, but it's a bit different to 2021 and 2017. 2018 was like the big time for ICOs because, obviously there was so much like new projects coming out after Ethereum. And then 2021 was big as well. Like I remember, getting in Flow. I did Solana and Near as well. So those are pretty early ones I got into as well.
Yeah, EOS I think was one as well, and Hedera was a few that I jumped into nice and early. Okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah, but that was way back in the day. When I say way back in the day, it's 2016, 2017. It feels like a lifetime ago.
Centuries ago. Look at that.
And I reckon, honestly, and Kane, you might agree with this as well, being in for a while, is being in the crypto world is like dog years. For every 1 year, you actually feel like you've lived 4.
No, that's called marriage. That's different thing.
Yeah.
That's right. Feels like a bloody eternity.
That's right.
Cool.
It's so true.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so let's get into because a lot of people are exposed to crypto now, and I know that every time that a bull market kicks in, everyone just goes mental on it, and starts to I've been looking at Bitcoin and crypto for ages now, but I'm finally going to dive in. Now, explain the difference to me between a traditional crypto exchange like CoinStash, for example, or Coinbase, and what Uptrade does as a brokering service. Now, we're not doing this to shill, we're just doing this to explain the difference so people can understand, and especially with the volumes, like if you're just going to chuck, a couple of $100 in, just go to a traditional exchange. If you're going to use a bit more, what is the upside of using a brokering service? Yeah,
definitely. So I guess what kind of differentiates an exchange and us at Uptrade is we're more of a white glove service for investors who are looking to get exposure to the market but don't really know what to do, or just need a bit of handheld experience. So what we do is we take care of all the custody, we take care of the trade execution, we take care of the research. So we give the research or the insights that we're looking at to those clients, and we keep it really personal on a one-on-one kind of experience where the brokers the clients always got that one-on-one touch to the broker, which they don't really have at an exchange. Yeah. So obviously with an exchange, you can obviously do trades and you can place whatever orders you want to do. And it is great. Exchanges are great for most investors, but there's a lot of people who do want a bit more of a personal experience when it comes to investing. And that's why a brokerage can be really good for them. And especially for people who do have a little bit more money. For example, we, execute trades across many exchanges. We have over-the-counter kind of deals that we can get as well. So we can limit the slippage. We can make sure that the trade execution's the best in the market. So yeah, when you're looking at big numbers, that's where the value actually starts to kick in for sure. But obviously, there's definitely a market for both exchanges and brokerages.
Yeah, probably the easiest way to put it would be, so you're taking care of slippage and OTC, which is over the counter, is that you're just going to get more bang for your buck. You're going to get more crypto. So if you're putting in a $5,000, $10,000, $100,000 order, you're executing that order, you guys find the best deals for them, which is great. Especially when people are first time stepping in or have been in for a while and just go, okay, I've got my superannuation, I've got, I've just sold my boat, or, I've just, sold a kidney. Whatever it may be. Not financial advice, educational purposes only.
Keep your kidney to yourself.
Yeah. Is okay, how can I do this the most safe way possible and get the biggest bang for their buck? And, especially in today's crypto world, there's a lot of scams out there. There's a lot of, fake exchanges. And for someone to actually hold your hand and walk your way through it. It's great for me as a crypto company, Orange Brick Road, is that I can pass on clients to you guys and just know that they're taken care of, and basically I can just get on with my life.
Yeah.
Priorities, mate.
It's true.
Cool. All right. Well, the big news that's been coming out, and if for anyone out there that hasn't subscribed to our newsletter, orangebrickroad.com.au, it comes out daily. And the last couple of days we've been focusing on the Genius Act.
Oh, can we do this? Is too big to just. We need to start again on this one. Let's have a quick break. We're back in a little bit, and we're going to be fully in your genius.
Talk about the Trump star.
The Trump star. Right now, it's time to kickstart your heart. Edge Radio Australia.
Great song. Whoever chose these songs is genius.
Oh, genius. It's a genius, yes.
It's tax time in Australia, and that refund in your account, it could be more than just spending money. At Orange Brick Road, we help Aussies turn tax returns into long-term wealth with crypto. What if you used that refund to start building your Bitcoin or Ethereum portfolio? Even $1,000 a year, just once at tax time, has shown strong growth. Start small. Stay consistent. Let time do the heavy lifting. Book your free 15-minute chat with Brandon today at orangebrickroad.com.au for everything in crypto.
How about to end this song?
You can play this, can't you, mate?
Yeah.
Every note.
Two, one hand.
Look at that. Edge Radio Australia. We are back. Crypto Hour of Power time, of course. We've got the fantastic Kane on the line all the way from... I didn't actually ask where Kane is. Where are you, mate?
I'm in Melbourne.
You did say Melbourne before.
The socialist dystopia of Melbourne.
That's why I blotted it out in my mind.
No. Yeah. The weather's not great.
Oh, mate, the weather's great. You hang out with Dan Andrews. It's a fantastic place.
Yeah, that's right.
People have problems with stairs and bikes and all sorts of things.
George Orwell comes to mind.
Oh, dear. You've got to have a joke, mate. My brother's a Melbourneite, so, you've got to share the love. Have a bit of a tease.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's right. And speak slowly, No, they're not Tasmanian.
No.
Hello, all the Tasmanian fans out there that I've just lost.
Exactly.
No, I love Tasmania. I went there once.
Did you?
Yeah, got the ferry there all 9 yards, and then I got off the ferry and I walked up the main street. The rain was vertical into your face, and it was like minus 128 degrees. Right? It was freezing. I turned around, jumped on the ferry, and went home.
Wow. Okay.
That was it.
You really got the culture of the place.
I think it's about an hour and 15. It was the longest I've been there. Anyways, all right. We were
talking about the Genius Act.
The Genius Act by the Trump star.
The Trump star.
Right. I'm going to make that viral, Trump star.
I think you might be late on that one.
Okay. The Genius Act. First off, just go through what it is and where do you think that's going internationally? Because I've got some views on it that I'd like to sort of clarify, because obviously you're smarter than me, Kane, so let's get it on. What is the Genius Act, mate?
Yeah, for sure. So the Genius Act was basically an act that was federal framework for stablecoins in its simplest form, basically. And I don't know if you guys or the viewers probably don't know what a stable coin is, but that is just like a crypto that's backed by the US dollar or like a fiat currency. So they're like the backbone of like decentralized finance sector,
on the
which
blockchain.
allow like people to So that allows people to borrow, trade, or lend against that on chain. But yeah, so the Genius Act was a pretty big deal, and this is actually one of the 3 acts that got passed the other day, basically. But yeah, this one is really important because it's created a really broad and like clear framework for a lot of people who want to adopt stable coins but weren't really sure about that regulatory clarity around it. So a few of the big things about it were that now they require a 1-to-1 reserve backing. So anyone who has issued stable coins will have to make sure that they have like $1 for every $1 USD on chain they have. So that just makes sure that they've definitely got that reserve backing. They have to have regular audits. They also have to have federal, state oversight and consumer protection. So this is really paving the way for banks and firms who want to issue stable coins or who want to adopt it into their mainstream payment system, the confidence and the clarity around it. So this is a really big deal for the crypto and the Web3 industry, because this is really, it legitimizes stable coins and how that could actually affect the broader market.
Yeah. I'm on the fence with that. I don't like regulation. I don't like government getting involved in anything.
It's a tough one, isn't it? Like, we want the security, okay? Yeah. But we know security will actually lower the yields, right? Okay, so you'll be gaining less. And also, I don't like them being in my wallet, right? I don't like the government. I don't like the government, full stop. Yeah. This is a tough one.
It's great for the crypto industry. It really, really is. It's a bit like the the hedge funds and the Michael Saylors and, all them sort of stuff, and, the banks that are now adopting Bitcoin and using that as a reserve now and that sort of stuff. It's great for crypto. It really, really is. But I preferred it back in the day.
Yeah, well, mate, you're an OG.
I'm an OG. Yeah. Now, the US government talking about having a reserve of crypto, and with Bitcoin and that sort of stuff. Do you think that is going to be a thing?
So the U.S. Reserve, USA actually have already established a Bitcoin reserve. So they established that in January this year.
Yeah.
They haven't actually spoken about how they're going to accumulate more, or if they've got a roadmap on, if they're going to start to buy Bitcoin. That's actually going to be coming out in the next few months. There was a framework that Trump put in that they had to announce that before August. So
yeah,
that's what we're waiting for at the moment. But nonetheless, it's really important because it means that they still see crypto or Bitcoin in particular as an asset that they should be holding rather than selling, or they want to adopt it. So it's almost become like a global race for a lot of companies or like institutions and governments now led by USA to accumulate as much Bitcoin as you can, because obviously this is a very scarce, finite asset and there's not enough to go around. So this is what's kind of fueling up our cycle this year round.
Yeah, so do you think that's going to be a thing? Do you think that's going to get through?
I think I don't see a reason why there won't be a situation where that the USA won't start accumulating more Bitcoin. That could be simply through just seizing Bitcoin from people because they've already been doing that for the last 5-10 years.
Yeah.
But they've already put the framework in place where Trump's promised that he's never going to sell a Bitcoin for however long he's in office. So if he holds true to that word and he continues to accumulate Bitcoin, it just limits what's on supply, right? And what's actually circulating on the market. And we know how supply demand works. If there's less supply and there's a high demand for an asset like this, there's only one way the price can go.
Yeah, I kind of look at it as property. Bitcoin is property.
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it.
And I think it wasn't Michael Saylor, it was that other dude. I can't remember his name. He was comparing buying Bitcoin at the moment. It was like buying land in New York in the 1950s.
I heard this, yeah. That was on that, the Institute show, whatever it was.
Yeah. Fucking, the name's escaping me right now.
There we go. Doesn't matter.
The dude, he's the main dude. I'll remember it probably as soon as we go off air. Right, instantly.
I've got a question, though, because before I heard you were saying about seizing Bitcoin, Kane.
Yeah.
For what reasons would they be seizing it?
So there's been...
Greedy overlords, and they're evil. Sorry, mate, interrupted.
No, all good. So one of the reasons they would seize it is if they believe that someone might be running an illegal company or something like that. Okay. So a really good example was Ross Ulbricht. He was the CEO or the founder of Silk Road, which was basically a black market for a lot of different things, and they were using Bitcoin and different assets to facilitate trade and make sure that this market kind of worked in a way that was away from the government. So they actually seized quite a few 100,000 Bitcoin off Silk Road. Yep. They were actually one of the biggest holders of Bitcoin back in that 2011 days or around then. So they've been seizing things like that through like piracy. I know that there was like a piracy one as well. So they've got different ways to seize Bitcoin if they think that it's been used in illegal actions and stuff like that.
So with the Silk Road one, what year did they actually seize that? Did you say 2011?
No.
So Silk Road.
Yep. Sorry.
Yeah. Silk Road was 2011, which was when it was started, and it was around 2013 when Ross was arrested and the Bitcoin was seized back then.
Geez, been a bit of growth since then, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember getting on Silk Road.
Right.
I couldn't work out how to bloody buy Bitcoin. Just way back in the day. Yeah, because it's changed a lot since back then. Now we've got exchange, we've got broken service, we've got DeFi, it's just a completely different world. Back then it was just real underground. Yeah, you basically had to live in your mum's basement and have a neck beard.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or be a tech savvy.
Yeah.
Like one of them people.
I've heard about these fellas.
Yeah, know how to use the Google webs. Okay. So Now, we know the utility of Bitcoin, basically supply and demand. It's basically like gold on a blockchain. That's how I look at it. What is the utility of, say, Ethereum and Solana and Cardano?
Yeah. So I guess Ethereum's a bit different because Bitcoin has kind of that store of value sentiment or story behind it, where it's like the first ever crypto. It's got the gold standard. It's, you know, the most scarce asset in the world. Whereas
first mover advantage.
Exactly, yeah. Ethereum's it's a layer 1 blockchain, so it's the same. It's got its own blockchain where transactions are put through and you can send money from one place to another. The only difference is with Ethereum, it has an ecosystem of different applications and developers who are building new fintech on top of that ecosystem. So Ethereum actually is more or less like like digital oil. You need it to make transactions occur. So if you want to send, say, $100,000 to your mate overseas, you have to have Ethereum to put the transaction through.
Yep.
So this is why it's really important, because you actually need it to facilitate whatever transaction you actually want to happen. So that's the same as Solana. It's the same as Cardano as well. Those are all kind of following the same kind of purpose. Obviously, they've just got different ecosystems of applications and developers and users and things like that.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, like on Ethereum, you got like the likes of Chainlink, for example, you know, which has its own utility, has its own system basically, but it's built on top of Ethereum. What do you see that's getting built on top of Solana that's sort of exciting you?
Yeah, definitely. So, I guess in more recent times, Solana's been a retail-driven chain. So what I mean by that is it's been onboarding quite a lot of the new comers into crypto, and that's simply just because it's a lot cheaper and a lot faster.
Yep.
So a lot of people who want to invest in the higher speculative assets like meme coins or the AI plays, they're tending to go to Solana just because it's cheap, and that's where a lot of the meme coin craze kind of knocked off in 2024. So it's been probably the best chain in terms of onboarding the new wave of investors. So yeah, I kind of see that as a different thing to Ethereum, because I think Ethereum's a lot more institutional based now, especially with like the ETF flows and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Solana, I'm seeing a lot. It is still a lot of speculative assets and speculative plays building out, but they're starting to build their own DeFi ecosystem. So different lend and borrowing platforms like Camino. They've got Drift, which is doing really well, which is like a perpetual exchange. They've also got like Pump Fund. Pump Fund's their launch pad for different meme coins. That's doing, you know, that's one of the biggest things to come out of this week, which is their token. And that's where a lot of people are like really interested in, because this is like a revenue generating project solely around meme coins. So there's a lot going on, and there's, you know, this is growing pretty rapidly at the moment. Solana is one of the chains that are showing a lot of strength.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up, you know, because it's all NFTs and the gaming and stuff like that. There's a lot going on it. But I think this cycle is probably going to flush out a lot of crypto. Like, they have all these projections, okay, we're building this, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Now it's time to sort of stand up and make it work, you know. So we're going to be seeing at the end of this round whether they're actually going to have utility. And I really think that the end of this bull market will flush a lot of crypto out. And I think Solana will be standing, you know. Same with, you know, the likes of Avalanche, you know, very bullish on Avalanche. Phantom is another one. Cardano's been around forever. EOS has kind of disappeared, you know, but, you know, but that's what happens, you know, that's the market cycle. Are you winding me up?
I gave you a little wind up about a minute ago, but that's okay, mate.
Right.
It's not the full wind up.
On talking,
I thought so. What I might do is I'll just start the song. That's what I'll do.
You're not my mum, all right?
It is time for some Dragon here on Edge Radio Australia. We'll be back in just a little tick. Quick little break, and we're back with the Crypto Hour of Power.
Curious about cryptocurrency and want to learn more? Orange Brick Road offers expert crypto consulting to help you understand the exciting world of crypto. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced crypto user, Orange Brick Road can help you gain the knowledge and confidence you need to succeed. Take the first step towards mastering crypto with Orange Brick Road at orangebrickroad.com.au. Yesterday was the best day to learn crypto. Today is the second.
Get used to about that. Mate, you're still obsessed by it. It's Baby Animals here on Edge Radio Australia.
She was smoking hot.
Oh, yeah.
And she just rocks it.
Just rocks it, mate.
You know?
You can't beat a good rock chick as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, absolutely. 100% on that one. All
anyways.
right. Now, let's talk about crypto. We are doing the run home of the Crypto Hour of Power here. Of course, we've got Kane on the phone all the way in sunny Melbourne doing his thing. Now,
right, Kane, you still there, mate?
Yes, how's it going?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. Did you hear us during the break? Did you hear us talk at all?
No, I didn't.
All right, cool. Because Aaron had nothing good to say about you, mate.
He loves just putting me in it. No. I know. What can I say about friendship? Sometimes you just want to win them.
All right. So on the run home.
Yes.
On the run home. Now, a lot has happened in the last sort of 12 to 18 months in the crypto world. It's basically been on steroids, going mental. I did want to cover, all right, controversial as this may seem, XRP, the old XRP army.
All right, let's hear this. Okay.
I'm on the fence. I love you, XRP army people out there. You're all mental, which is great. Where do you sit on the old XRP spectrum?
Yeah, so for me, I'm on the fence as well. I'm not a big fan, to be honest, because I look at it compared to different layer ones like Ethereum and Solana that has an actual ecosystem, that has active users, that has a lot of transactions on chain. So that's what I see, and I see it as, probably not as good, to be honest.
Yeah.
The only thing with the XRP army is that they actually have a really strong community, and that's what you really need in crypto, because that's what pushes a crypto, and that's what can actually start really big pumps across the board. So the fact that they've got such a strong community and army is what actually brings them to the top three, which is where it is today.
Yeah, but the whole narrative, which has been around for a while now, where banks are going to adopt it and it's going to be a cross-border payment system, that sort of thing. Am I getting some feedback?
Shouldn't be.
Yeah.
No?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll just make it up. Yeah. So the whole, banks adopting and that sort of stuff. It's been a narrative for some time. And what my counter on that is, why would banks adopt something that they can't control?
Great point.
Because banks aren't really into letting control away.
No, they're not the casual, just go with the flow kind of people. No,
ever. So, and why wouldn't they just invent their own? Mm-hmm.
Well, I think they've been trying that.
But as an investor, I've done well out of XRP, and a lot of my clients have done well out of XRP. Is there any other coins that you you guys have got your eye on at the moment that might be emerging now? When because we help people set up portfolios and that sort of stuff, and it's basically how I do my portfolio, and I've learnt the hard way over the years.
Okay.
Basically what I do about 40% of what I call stables, which are the big ones, Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano. And then I'd like to hit about 30-40% into mid caps, and then I'll do some highly speculative ones, about 10 or 15% of the portfolio, and that's how I set mine up.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, no, obviously this is not financial advice. This is, we're talking about your portfolio here. So what would you consider to be a mid cap?
I kind of... Chainlink,
okay.
Yeah, Phantom,
right.
They've been around for a while and they're established, Is there any, let's go for, how much time you got left?
Oh,
okay, about 5 minutes, something like that.
Totally.
All right, let's go for some moonshots. Let's just go all degen, all right? Is there anything on your horizon as a degen, mate? And that's just for the listeners out there. D is degenerate. All right. Degenerate crypto. Degen.
I'm running out. I mean, we've got, look, generation, we had the baby boomers, X, the Y, the this, the that. And now you've got a degen. I mean, what's that all about? Really?
Dude, straight up. They're just like into the lower caps, into the memes, into the NFTs, just throwing money everywhere. And occasionally it hits. I mean, I've done really well on some really lower caps, they're like 10,000x.
Oh, my word. Okay.
Yeah. But, like the one that does 10,000x, you get 3 or 4 that you invest in that you got wrecked on.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, so let's get all degen right at the end. Hey, that rhymes. Degen at the end.
Look at the poetry here.
All right, where you go, mate? Give us some good coins.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, it depends how degen you want to go. One of the tokens we're looking at, which is just outside of the top 100 at the moment, so it's not too degen, but that's Aerodrome Finance. And what's so good about this one is it's on Base. It's the main decentralized exchange. It gives back all its revenue to token holders, so it's got a really strong flywheel when it comes to like revenue and token value accrual, because all their revenue goes back to those holders.
Yep.
So that's one really, really strong one we're looking at. And the model makes a lot of sense when it comes to, from a valuation perspective, because you can actually use almost like a PE ratio to value the company. So that's something that we find really valuable. I know this one's really close to the top 10, but Hyperliquid's one we've been covering since $5. And this is, basically the same. It uses 97% of its revenue to buy back the token and burn it. And it's been doing about $3 to $6 million in revenue per day.
Yep.
So it was at that $10 or $15 mark that we were really bullish on it. It was projected in 2 years they would be able to buy back the whole supply and burn everything. So obviously that sounds stupid and that's, not sustainable at all. So price had to adjust to that revenue. So we look at things like that. I mean, obviously we can go a bit further down the risk curve, but I don't know how far you guys like to play.
Well, like I said, I do about 10% and like just degens, but like the real world assets is what I really got, and I really liking the BST token with Ocean Point. I think that has utility. It's been around for a while, and the tokenization of real estate. I think everything is going to be tokenized eventually.
That seems a huge winner to me. It really
100%. Have you heard of BST and Ocean Point?
I've heard of it before, but I haven't done too much of my own due diligence on it. Actually, I've been focusing mainly on the big ones like Ondo and Chex and Maple. Maple's been doing extremely well as well. So that's another one from a Melbourne-based company or Australia-based company that we're bullish on.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like you've got several real-world assets and that sort of thing, but it's the emerging ones that are coming through. That's probably the degen. That's where you're going to get maximum value or wrecked. And I think and I think. Oops.
Oh, that's a carton. Look at that.
Yeah, that is a carton.
There we go.
That's a carton. All right. Okay, so you've given me the finger.
I have given you the finger, mate.
It's time to wrap up,
It's called the wind up. That's fine. You can call it the finger if you like.
All right.
It is time, mate.
It is time.
To start shilling away.
Okay, well, the easy to shill is orangebrickroad.com.au for everything in crypto. You'll see on our services tab, we've got about 14 different services that we do, all manner of stuff. And you'll see broker.
Right.
And you'll see Uptrade.
Right.
And away you go.
That's as good as it gets. All right.
As good as it gets.
Okay. So you don't even need to. You don't need to even contact Kane.
Might be better tomorrow.
You never know. You never know.
Because it's quite a statement.
It really is. Kane, is there, apart from all the dodgy ways that, that Brandon might cover, any other ways we can get contact with you, mate? Go to the old one-stop shop. Go through orangebrickroad.com.au. Boom, hit the links and away you go.
It's the number one stop in the world.
In the world, mate. In the world.
In the world.
Yeah, this is amazing.
And I'm not even lying. Thanks, Kane. Talk to you soon, brother.
Perfect.
Bit of ACDC here on Edge Radio Australia. Thunderstruck. Thanks for being part of the Crypto Hour of Power.